how to transform your body in 180 days, build a lean muscular physique with the Built for Life method, which is my method that I've created, without sacrificing your lifestyle, and making sure that no matter how busy you are with your job, family, whatever you have going on in your life, this method is going to help you get in shape like you've never done before. And it's going to do it in a way that's easy for you, no matter how busy you are. I specifically designed this for my clients because most of my clients own businesses. They have busy lives. They don't have the ability to work out 7 days a week in the gym. They maybe have 30 to 60 minutes, but they want to optimize and get the best results possible and completely transform their bodies. So this is why I built this method that I'm about to show you. So this is the Built for Life method. As you can see over here on the left where I'm putting myself, I went from that physique to the one on the right. I've actually done this twice now, but this was one of them. And you can do this in a matter of months. This transformation was about 5 months in time. I run a full-time training business. I own a supplement company. I'm a very busy person. I've got a wife. I don't have kids. I've got 2 dogs, but I have a very busy life, and doing this type of method allows you to get what you want for your body and transform yourself without sacrificing your lifestyle. So let's get straight into it. These are a couple of my clients that have gone through big transformations. So this is Gray here on the left. He had a pretty drastic transformation. He went from skinny fat with, as you can see, pretty much no muscle over here. No muscle on his frame. He had some stomach fat going. And then within months, this physique on the right, you can see his chest, his shoulders, his traps. He's got a 6-pack here. He did this in about 6 months. This middle person, this is Mike. He had a little bit of muscle on his frame, but as you can see left to right, he went from his love handles popping out to a much more shredded physique with even more muscle after the fact. Aziz here, this one was actually even faster. Aziz had a decent base of muscle, this picture on the left, when he first came to me. And within a month, the pic on the right, we dropped him 3% body fat. So if you apply this method and this training and the diet that comes with it, you can see results literally within weeks. So the Built for Life method works for skinny fat beginners and experienced lifters that want to truly get shredded and build a badass physique. Like I said, most of my clients own businesses. They work full-time jobs, but they fall into the same struggle that many of us fall into, which is getting consistent results in the gym with the diet they're doing. And it's often too much with whatever that you have going on in your life. So the right system and structure is essential in order to get you to where you need to be. So like I said on the last slide, Gray went from skinny fat to jacked and ripped. He had basically no muscle. He was just skinny fat. Underwent a complete physique transformation. Aziz couldn't break into that final form. He was in decent shape already, couldn't break down into that 10% and below body fat area. With 1 month of working with me, I dropped him 3% body fat. Mike had some muscle, some love handles, and higher body fat. He needed a proper diet and training structure that would lock him into getting the best results. So that's exactly what we did. Now, is the Built for Life method for you? If you are finally ready to transform and you want to build a physique that you're proud of, and you've tried everything, you've lifted before, but you still don't have the physique that you want, you need a system, you need a structure, and you need a blueprint that will get you realistic results consistently day in and day out. And on top of that, it needs to fit your lifestyle. Like we all, like I said, we all got busy lives. It's essential that you have the right system that gets you results, that you won't fall off at some point and the results won't be altered in any way. So you're consistent no matter what. And a part of that is accountability. The system, the system is not for you if you're looking for quick fixes, if you're looking for shortcuts instead of real transformation for yourself. If you're you refuse to build habits and routines, no consistency. You have to be really all in and ready to commit yourself in all aspects. And, I keep my clients accountable. So that's an important aspect of the system too. Overtraining mindset. Sometimes we think that more exercise, more working out is the solution. When in reality, like, you can completely transform your physique, stack on muscle, and get incredible results if you're going to the gym 3 times a week. You don't need more than that necessarily. More is definitely okay. It's better, but there's a huge linear benefit from training once a week with weights to 2, 3, 4. From 1 to 3, they did a study, and the results building muscle from training 1 day a week versus 3 day a week was a substantial difference. So more is better. Once you get to like 3, 4, 5, 6, it's just a little bit of a performance benefit. But from 1 to 3 is a major increase in how much muscle and fat you can get rid of, how much muscle you can add, and how much fat you can get rid of. And lastly is belief. If you don't believe that you can become your best self, then this is not for you. But if you're watching this video right now, something tells me that you do want it for yourself and you do want to believe that you can do this. So if that's you, then let's get into the rest of this. So this is the Built for Life method. It's a simple system, 2 phases, and unlimited results. Phase 1 is the foundation phase. So no matter excuse me, no matter where your starting point is, whether you need to lose more than 10% body fat, or maybe you're an experienced lifter, but you need to take your physique to that next level. I work with clients of all types, and wherever your starting point is, it doesn't matter. I can get you to where you need to be with the right system and the right structure. So the foundation phase is a 2 to 4 month leaning phase, focused on getting to around 10% body fat, improving your recovery, and creating the perfect environment for muscle growth. Phase 2 is what you'd be doing after the fact. So we want to build a lean base on your physique. That way, whenever you go into a growing phase to put on more muscle, which is going to ultimately transform you to look your best, it sets you up from a better starting point if you have a leaner base, because then you don't have to bulk or grow as much in order to get all that muscle on your frame. And you can still stay lean in phase 2, which is the launch phase. So the launch phase is a lean muscle building phase and using a slight caloric deficit. And that's going to maximize the amount of muscle that we put on your frame. But because of the foundation phase and getting you to the proper starting point, it's going to give you the perfect setup to where, like I said, you stay lean even when you're stacking on all this muscle, and you don't push it. Like, let's say you're over 20% body fat, you don't push it past that high point where you start, when you look in the mirror and don't like how you look. Because of phase 1, you're so lean that you're able to push your gaining phase, the muscle building phase, longer without gaining too much excess fat. So it's like a lean bulk, and we can add as much muscle as possible, and you'll still look awesome while you're going through phase 2. So foundation phase training looks like this. So there's 2 options. Most of my clients have very busy schedules, like I said. So if you can get to the gym 3 days a week, then I'd be having you do a full body split with a rest day in between. The rest day is in between each session because you need to wait for your muscles to recover. So that's going to help your performance, also help your body build muscle in between each of those days. So it's a modified split to make sure that we're getting as much volume and intensity on all your muscle groups 3 times a week. And that's all you need to completely transform. If you can get to the gym 3 days a week and you have the right diet structure in place, you can have incredible results within a matter of months. That's why I say within 180 days, you could have a completely different physique. Option 2, a little bit better, but again, 3 days a week is fine. If you can do 4 days a week in the gym and you're able to do 30 to 60 minutes, a modified upper lower split is a great option. So Monday upper, rest day would be Wednesday, actually. Monday upper, Tuesday lower, rest day Wednesday, Thursday upper, Friday lower, or you could throw in like an optional arms and delts day, depending on if you have specific muscle groups you want to come up more. Like if you want your legs to come up more, doing that lower day. If you want your arms and delts to come up more, you could do that day instead. Some of my clients do a variation. So, like one week they'll do the lower day, and then another week they'll do the arms day. So, that's how the two splits are going to look. You don't need multiple hours in the gym. You don't need 6, 7 days a week in the gym, but you need a few workouts to ensure that you get workouts designed in a way that are going to get you consistent and optimal results. Launch phase, the training is actually the same. There's some minor adjustments in the training style. So we're going to go on certain exercises. You're going to be training lower reps, which is going to give you a higher strength threshold, especially on things like compound movements. So yeah, foundation phase, you got the 4 days a week option, upper lower. You got the 3 days a week option, depending on your schedule. If you can only make it to the gym 3 days a week, that's going to be fine. Foundation phase nutrition. So the nutrition focus is going to be putting you at a point where whatever your body burns on a daily basis, we're eating a deficit below that consistently. Calories in, calories out. As long as you're in a slight deficit, 500 calorie deficit equates to about 1 pound a week. So if you do that every single day for 7 days, you'll lose about 1 pound per week. While we're doing this, we're keeping the protein at 1 gram per body weight for whatever your weight is. What that's going to do is two things. That's going to allow you to potentially build muscle while you're losing fat in the first phase. The other thing it's going to do is help you with cravings. So it's going to satiate you. Protein and fiber are huge whenever you're trying to lose weight. You need an optimal protein intake and you need enough fiber every day, because those two things are going to ensure that you don't have those really hard cravings that make people slip up and screw up their diets. So we're going to do high satiating meals to help control your hunger. You're going to have moderate carbs for training performance. I have my clients optimize their carbs before and after their workouts, because your body's preferred source of energy is carbohydrates. So it's best to try to structure your diet in a way where you can have carbs near your workout. It also helps your body shuttle nutrients the right way. So it's going to help you, if you have carbs after your workout, it's going to help your body shuttle the protein more effectively and use the protein to build your muscle, and it can use the carbs for energy. So this is a flexible dieting approach that I use for my clients. 3 to 5 meals per day, depending on your schedule, weekly adjustments based on scale averages, check-in photos, and performance. Traditional strict dieting and clean eating, basically eating only diet-friendly foods and avoiding anything considered unhealthy, it's not sustainable. They did studies where they had two groups. One did chicken, rice, and broccoli for an extended period of months, and the other group did flexible dieting. The chicken, rice, and broccoli group had a huge drop-off rate and failure rate in ultimately getting the results they wanted to get, versus the flexible dieting group got way better results. And that's because it's boring. Eating the same super clean food all day long, it's not sustainable. Some people do it and are fine with it, but the majority of people can't sustain a super strict diet. And it also, like, if you're super busy, if you have a company or you work a corporate job, it's not always the easiest thing to do to meal prep all your food all at once and then rely on Tupperwares all day long. Like, sometimes you have to do quick snacks and be able to be flexible with the way you're dieting throughout the day, especially with a busy lifestyle. Many people perceive flexible dieting as eating all the unhealthy foods and still losing weight because it fits your macros. It's really not the case. Actual flexible dieting is eating mostly healthy foods, but also enjoying less healthy foods that you love in moderation. A good rule of thumb is like 80% healthier choices, and then slip in those 20% of maybe not the most whole foods, less than ideal choices. So And no matter what, as long as your calories are where they need to be, your protein is where it needs to be, you can fit in those foods that you really like and still get the exact same results as if you were doing chicken, rice, and broccoli all day long. It's all about the numbers. It's all about calories in, calories out, protein, and making sure that you're in a consistent deficit in this phase. All right, so launch phase training. Training split, like I said, is going to be more consistent with the first one. There are some differences. You want to focus more on low reps for strength on certain movements because you want to maximize a hybrid style of strength and hypertrophy, which is to hypertrophy to build muscle and strength. Because if your strength goes up on certain movements, that's going to directly translate and correlate to your accessory movements, like for example, like a bench press, right? If we can get your strength up a lot on the bench press, all of a sudden on a cable fly, isolating your chest, if your bench press strength is going up, that other pushing movement will get stronger as well. So you'll be able to push more weight, not just on the bench press, which is going to grow your chest, but your other pushing movements will get stronger as well. You're going to be able to push more weight, progressively overload, and that's going to also translate into more muscle growth. Okay, launch phase. So this is phase 2 after we've leaned you out and primed your physique. So you're going to build muscle aggressively while still staying lean. So you're not going to get fat. You're not going to, if you're starting at a higher body fat to begin with, it's not going to push you up so much where you don't like how you look in the mirror. We're going to do it in an effective way that is basically a lean bulk, and it's going to bulk you up, stack on a lot of muscle with minimal body fat gain. A lot of people do this when they think they need to gain muscle. They'll just eat a bunch of food and eat a bunch of protein. But the problem with that is it becomes excessive. And if you're not doing it the proper way, what ends up happening to most people is they add a ton of body fat. They speed up the process of gaining muscle. So they gain some muscle, but most of what they're gaining is just fat. And so what I do with the launch phase is I have a very specific slight caloric surplus for you. You'll gain about half a pound a week to maximize your muscle growth while minimizing your fat gain. Nutrition is similar, except that you're going to have more calories to work with. You'll have a little bit more energy this time around. Protein's going to be consistent, but we're going to gradually increase carbs and a little bit of fat for strength, recovery, and fullness. This is the difference between doing it like this and dirty bulking. You're able to maximize muscle growth, minimize fat gain. You still stay lean while forming and shaping the physique that you want for yourself. You keep your conditioning and build quality muscle without spending months of having to diet fat back off, because you're not getting to such a high body fat to where it's going to take you a long time to break it down. It's going to take 1 to 4 months max. So this is the nutrition for the launch phase. You do not need the perfect life to build an elite physique. Built for Life, my system, is designed for real people with real responsibilities. Like I said, most of my clients have full-time jobs. Some of them have families, kids. They run businesses. This is a system I specifically designed for people that need the right structure to get them results that they want for themselves, no matter how busy or how hectic your lifestyle is, and also serves as a strong form of accountability to help you get there consistently. So here's some of my clients. Some of these we went over earlier. Let's move me over here. So Gray went up top, just above me here. Gray went from skinny fat to, okay, so these are some of my clients. Gray went from skinny fat with zero muscle to jacked and lean. Aziz lost 3% body fat in 1 month. Hannah got bikini competitor stage ready, so I helped prep her for her first ever bikini show, a bodybuilding show. And you can see from left to right, she looked completely different. She looked great for her show. Charlie over here went from 167 pounds, 16.9% body fat to 184 pounds, 11% body fat. I coached him for his first ever men's physique bodybuilding show. And as you can see, he looks insane. He got first place. He had a 6 sword at the end of it. He did awesome. Evan down here lost more than 12% body fat in less than 180 days. Mike stacked on muscle and got shredded within months. Matt lost 35 pounds and 5 inches on his waist, stacked on muscle, and he still continues to make progress. Next step for Matt is getting him down to about 12%, 10% body fat. All my clients have super busy lives. They got jobs, they got families, they've got life. We all have life going on, but they wanted to take their body to the next level. And so having the right structure is what you have to do for yourself. You have to be ready to go all in on yourself and do what it takes to get to where you want to be. And having the right system in place for yourself is how you do that. You simplify things, you have measurable things to track, and consistency with accountability is what it takes to truly transform your body. So your transformation can start now. If you implement this system and method, you can lose 10% body fat or more, get ripped in 180 days or less, get lean, build muscle, completely transform your physique and your life. And the confidence that comes with that is life-changing. Your friends notice, your business partners notice, your boss notices, your employees notice. All these things have a domino effect on your life, and for whatever reason you want to transform, you commit yourself to this, you can get the best results possible. All it takes is action and implementation of the right method in order to change your life. I'm going to leave a link down below in the description to book a free strategy call with me if you need help locking in and figuring out the right structure to get you to where you want to be. But that's going to wrap up this video. Hopefully this was helpful for you. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.